All right, so today I closed out my AEZS reshort, and it's a trade that I initially took last Friday morning, right near the market open. AEZS, you probably watched my other video on this. I took that $9,000 loss on it, and in that video I mentioned that I had been reshorting some and was deciding whether I was going to swing or not. And it actually tagged me again for one more loss before I had this nice profit where I had been short. It had this nice breakdown into the close on Thursday. I was feeling pretty good overnight, and then they put out a fluff PR, and the PR spiked it back up. I think I said in that video how much AEZS reminded me of MGT, and it's funny because it really continued here, because MGT did something very similar to me where it had a weak close day, and then I don't know if he tweeted or something like that, McAfee after hours, but I just remember it gapped it back up and actually got it through the day's highs. And that was exactly what happened here with AEZS, where the news came out, it started gapping up, and I cut my loss. Unfortunately, I was at tennis when the PR hit, so I had to kind of scramble when I got back and cover into pullbacks. But it did tag me one more time. So come Friday morning, being a Friday and all, and the PR was out, and the thing had reclaimed momentum, I thought, okay, shorts might be in trouble. This thing might squeeze out of the gate. And I was boxed up. I was flat. I had absolutely no desire or any plan really to get in right near the market open. I just wanted to let AEZS spike and squeeze, and then once I thought the backside was in, maybe start attacking. But as I watched this pre-market action Friday morning, it seemed very weak. It was fading back a bit from where it had been after hours on Thursday, and especially right near the market open, they surprised me because they were propping with big bids. And despite these enormous bids being in on AEZS, we're talking, I think they were like 30 or 40,000 share bids, there just was absolutely no strength out of it. No panic by shorts, no interested buyers. Like, there was just no interest. And it just did not feel strong to me after fading off of post-market highs from the day before. It was down from its pre-market highs. And, big manipulative bids were not doing the job. So right near market open, I decided, okay, why not? I'm going to attack those bids. So I slammed the bids. I shorted, I think, 40,000 shares at 318, right near market open, because I just did not get a feeling of strength from it. And it was very near my risk. I was going to play off a 330. That was the previous day's high from regular market hours. I really didn't want to play off at the pre-market levels since I just tend to trust regular market hours a lot more when there's higher volume trading. And AEZS, I had a nice tank right out of the gate down into the 290s. It might even tap 280s here. And then it had a really fast bounce, almost right back up to its highs. So that scared me a little bit. I didn't like that fast rebound on air, so I covered up a little bit into the next dip in the low threes just to pay myself a little bit, and then wound up having to chase and reshort it later when it started to crack and break down a little further. So AEZS, all through Friday, I didn't add too much. I had put on that one ad, like I said, the reshort, and then I got 10,000 more shares on. I believe it was into this bounce up into the 290s here towards the end of the day. So I went overnight with 50,000 shares, and my average wound up being 304. And then it was just a matter of patience. I was just trying to sit back and wait for this thing to break down. And as you can see by the daily chart, the last couple of days have been really nice fading days. We had a big gap down yesterday, and it unraveled very quickly into the 230s and bounced, and then, I just didn't add. I probably had some opportunities here to add to this position, but I just wanted to stay comfortable and keep my average comfortable. And like I said, I just tried to stay patient, and this really never gave me any kind of sign of strength yesterday to scare me out. I probably would have gotten a bit uncomfortable if they could have broken it past this 255 level here, where it perked through VWAP a couple times and double topped, but no such luck. This perk was weaker. It faded off into the close. And then let's just talk about what led me to get out of this trade. Today, it gapped up, which was kind of a weird gap up in the first place. and faded off pretty quickly, went green-red, and then was just chopping around 220. And it kept testing 220, and it kept holding 220. And then when it finally cracked 220 and got down to 218, it perked all the way back really quick, all the way right up to 226, 227. So that made me a bit uncomfortable, and that made me decide, okay, I might want to start thinking about getting out of this trade. So I covered up about 3/5 of my shares in the 224, 225 area, and then I think a New York, some kind of article hit about how someone was like, oh, like they might have convinced AEZS to consider selling the company, like just fluffy bullshit, the typical stuff. And it spiked the stock up. I cut a little bit more on red green here at 230, and then I just wasn't sure if it was going to hold up through the dip. I kind of, I guess, had a hunch that it might stuff and just be complete nonsense, but I wanted to play it safe, and once I start covering, I kind of tend to have trouble stopping myself from covering the rest. I'm not good at just holding a piece. So I took off the rest at 336 into the dip here, just to kind of be safe. I was hoping this could continue, but all in all, my average cover was right about 230. Once you factor all my covers together and average them out, and that was about a $37,000 gain after commissions. So I'm very happy with this trade. I'm pretty sure it cracks my top 5 of the year. I'm going to have to look later. If there's anything I could have done differently in the trade, I guess I would have wished maybe that I would have been a little bit better about adding the bounces. Early in the year, January and February, that was something I was really good at, was adding the winners. And I've kind of gotten away from that a little bit lately, in the interest of just wanting to feel like I have a comfortable average. So I'm still doing a bit of soul searching there, determining which method I like best. And now AEZS looks like it's faded back and gone red a little bit. So, I was hoping that I was going to get some good covers here and that this might find a way to squeeze back a little bit, get back into the high 2s for me. I guess it still might, but that was pretty big volume on that little news article coming out, and it stuffed the hell out of it in the 240s. So I may have to, as the day goes on, consider just reshorting some small pops and starting another small swing position, because this does still have a lot of room to come down. I mean, this is up from really the $1 area before they announced that they sent a letter to the FDA. So definitely still room to come down, but it is getting to the point now where volume is dropping off a bit, and it's going to probably get a bit choppier and get to the part of the pattern I'm less comfortable with. In the ideal world, this finds a way to hold up through the rest of the day, ramp back a bit, and maybe give me another day or two of squeezing back. I don't think it'll set new highs or anything like that, but like I said, I just would like a bounce to reshort into, and hopefully it gives it to me. But till then, I'm really happy with how I handled this. I didn't let some early losses discourage me on AEZS, and I wound up pretty nicely up on the ticker overall. So hopefully get some more nice action out of this as the week goes on. But for now, I am pretty pleased with it.